In Kenya, recovery efforts are still ongoing as authorities race against time to recover bodies buried in mud and sand following a landslide that occurred in West Pokot on Saturday. Our reporter Robert Nagila has been covering the recovery and the devastation caused. Robert, what's the latest from there?
Well, the situation on the ground is pretty much still quite serious. We have a growing humanitarian situation in the affected areas. Some 80 to 100,000 odd people are displaced by the floods and landslides that occurred about 5 days ago. Now, as we speak, we had a chance to visit some of the areas that were affected by the landslides, and this is what we found.
Roads cut off, vital linkages destroyed, power lines brought down by the sheer force of mud and sand. 5 days after a landslide struck parts of West Pokot County in northwestern Kenya following heavy rainfall, death and destruction linger. As recovery efforts continue, it is still unclear how many people lost their lives.
The number is between 52 and 60. We will give you the precise number as the bodies begin to come out.
In some cases, almost entire families were wiped out.
I got home at about 2 a.m. to find my house had disappeared, my children missing. Only one had survived.
Miraculously, his 13-year-old son is still alive. It is clear he is traumatized.
It is very painful for the family. Personally, even it is difficult to cancel because actually to lose the 7 children and only one got saved, it is very difficult.
Amidst some of the most mesmerizing terrain, the destructive force of nature is evident. Here in Sikor, the landslide swept everything in its path, scattering huge rocks carried from the hills above. At least 20,000 homes were destroyed, displacing over 80,000 people, now in dire need of humanitarian assistance. Aid has begun arriving, but it cannot come fast enough. Access to some of the affected areas is still a major challenge. The weather has improved somewhat, but the Met Department's warned the rains will continue into December. A mandatory evacuation order for affected areas is in effect, but for many people here, they simply have nowhere to go. For many of these people, it's difficult to quantify their loss. Some have yet to recover the bodies of their loved ones, and until that happens, only then can they begin to rebuild their lives. Robert Nagila, CGTN, West Pokot.